Hello, hello, hello. This isn't a prog review, no. This is a general review. Again, for those who haven't read the title and description, it's Blur's new album, their 9th studio album, released 21st July 2023, called The Ballad of Darren. Oh dear, what a terrible name. Who'd want to be called that, eh? And this is on Blu-ray, high fidelity, pure audio. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, well, I've been a Blur fan for crikey, for many years. And so when this album was announced, I thought, blimey, I better buy it. It's got my name on the cover. It's not often that people name albums after you, so I was honoured. Again, Albarn has said that Darren represents a generation. There are many Darrens, and there's also a singular Darren. There's one Darren that is their, I think, is their ex-bodyguard. But he's also, in an interview, Albarn said there were Darrens at school. You know, there are a couple of Darrens when I was at school, and the name is kind of representative of a certain generation. No one's called Darren anymore. We came and we went. We had our chance. We were a kind of a drop off from the 50s and the 60s, and that's where the name has its foundations. So here we are. It's a really good album, incredibly good album. Not because it has my name on it, but it's very short. It's 36 minutes 4 seconds long, and it whizzes by. I like short albums, and I think that short albums go in better and they work better. And I was surprised when I put this on, the length of it and how it entranced me. I've listened to it 3 times, because with a 36-minute album you can listen to it 3 times without getting bored. It's about men of a certain age. Yes, it's a generational album. Albarn reckons that you know, young people get it. They won't get it. You won't get it unless you've gone over the hill of 50. You know, and again, I tried to touch on this with my own recordings on L. Go and look that one up. I tried to touch on what it feels like to wonder, where are you and what are you doing? And it's about masculinity. It's about getting older, and there's many themes in this: regret, remorse and regret could be the same thing. Doubt, self-doubt. There's a tiny bit of hope. There's a shiny slither of hope on the album. Longing, you know, nostalgia, melancholy. It's all those things, and it hit me. It hit me like a wave hitting the beach at just the right angle. It hit me and it moved me, and I wasn't expecting it to. This is the thing, because, you know, the Magic Whip, I didn't really care for it. But this one, yeah, this one really got me. This is probably my favourite Blur album, because an album has never spoken to me so directly, and that's really unusual. I'm not Damon Albarn, I haven't had his experiences, but the meaning and that sense of time, of the now, just resonated. It vibrated with me, and yeah, it's a hard album to listen to, but it's also it makes me feel like I'm not alone. It makes me feel like there are other men out there feeling the same way, and I'm amazed that it came from Blur. Not that they've, you know, I mean, I think, you know, Albarn's done some great writing, you know. Boys and Girls, that's one of the greatest songs of the 90s, you know. It captured a time and put it to a beat. So yeah, I mean, he's a very good observer of people, and Neil is a good observer of himself. musically, it's an interesting one. There's a lot of Bowie on this, from like Lodger. There's that the St Charles Square felt a bit Lodger Bowie-ish, and in some places Damon Albarn slides into the Anthony Newley school of intonation, which happens if you're from certain parts of the world. Again, myself and Albarn, I mean, he grew up in Leytonstone, I grew up in Leyton. We're from the same neck of the woods, as it were, so I get it. Oh god, I can't remember which one it was. Might have been Russian Strings. Again, I forget the titles of these things. It sounds like Bowie's Where Are We Now, you know, where he's listing off places that he's been and looking back. The track Barbaric, you know, talking about, you know, losing the feeling. You thought you'd never lose. That's something what happens. It happens. You don't think it's going to happen, but you wake up and it happens. You stop feeling things, and I get it. And The Narcissist is probably, I think, is the strongest track on the record. And again, that's the one that's got a little sliver of hope in it, you know. And it's about, you know, not giving up and not making the same mistakes and learning. And yeah, it's a really strong record, and it's great. This is the thing about music, is sometimes I can be jaded and cynical about things, and then a record will come along and it will just go, yep, this is why I'm in. This is why I'm in it for the long run, because every so often something will come out of the blue and blindside you. And again, I think I'd only heard The Narcissist from this. I'd avoided everything else. I was like that. And I think I only watched there was an interview with him on YouTube, which I caught, which I thought was interesting. But musically, I'd avoided the album and listened to it fresh. Is that good? It might not be for everyone, of course, because again, I do believe that you do need to have a certain set of experiences to fully appreciate the nuances of it. Young whippersnappers won't understand what it feels like to find everything changing around you. When you're on the wave, you think, this is great, I'm going to be riding this wave forever. But when the wave wipes you out and leaves you floundering, bobbing up and down, left behind, that's another thing. And trust me, it happens to us all. Every single one of us. Youth is wasted on the young. That's the old saying, isn't it? So yeah, it just got me, and it's very rare for me to play an album 3 times on the trot. Very rare. And Blur, with the Ballad of Darren, wins that award. That hasn't got anything to do with my name on the cover. It's just I wanted to hear it again and again and again. And yeah, that was it. This thing though, this Blu-ray crap, it's crap. Awful, avoid it. It's got an Atmos mix on it, but again, I haven't got an Atmos system, so I was hoping that there might be a 5.1 mix or whatever, but no, you've just got to let it down mix, and it's pretty flat and pretty dead. I was trying to think what the opposite of live was. Dead. It's pretty dead and quite low. I had to really crank up my amp to get it. So I ended up re-listening to it with the high-res stereo mix, which had a bit more of a gut punch to it, and was a bit more punchy. There was not very much dynamism in Atmos. Atmos is a waste of time. And I don't know why I ordered it. I should have just got the vinyl, but I don't know. I thought I'd get it, give it a go, see if it was any good. But yeah, I'm probably gonna. I enjoyed it so much, I might buy the vinyl of it. Though I do have another vinyl coming in, but it's well, I'll show you that when I get it. It's a picture disc edition, though it's not the standard one. It's an unusual zoetrope type thing. So yeah, that is it. That's my review of Blur's The Ballad of Darren. It's of its time. It's it's about men of a certain age, and yeah, certainly, yeah, it hits you. It's got an emotional punch to it that resonates. Though again, I don't expect everyone to get it. You've got to, been through that certain phase for you to get all the bits of it. But yeah, recommend it. I thought it was really good, and it's nice to have a really short album. It's all right for the Beatles, when you start going into the 50-minute mark, it's not good. But this, like I said, 36 minutes. That's delightful. It's delightful. I think, was it Wet Leg did a similar thing, and that album was delightful too. I like it. I like it. So that was it. That's the. Shall I do a show and tell? There's not much to show and tell really. That's the insert there. Here's a little booklet, and that's the Darren in question, the bodyguard they used to have, Darren Evans, I believe his name is. And there's the disc, and there's the smallest writing ever. How am I supposed to read that with my eyesight? Seriously, come on, guys. And yeah, the booklet's pretty. It's just got the lyrics in. That isn't going to pick them up because it's too bright. So there you go. That's the review. A thorough recommendation from me, and it's good to get an album that completely blindsides you and knocks you off your feet. That's it. That's the review. Thank you for watching. Ballad of Darren. My name's Darren. Small world. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, but I know you should know what that is, and that is ta-ta.